Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be showing off the Exodia, the Legendary Defender win condition. Now, I haven't seen anyone talk or play this deck in just a really long time. It first came out and it's probably one of the hardest Exodia win conditions ever to exist in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's also like the little like tiny Exodia. There's another like Exodia win condition, but that one's really hard as well. Now, what we're going to be focusing in on is, of course, the Legendary Defender. So this card is a level 10 monster, and its effect is that it cannot be special summoned. You actually have to tribute 5 monsters to tribute summon this card, but not set. And the card, its attack and defense become the combined original attack and defense of the tributed monster. And if this card summoned this way destroys a Dark Fiend monster owned by your opponent, you win the duel at the end of the damage step. So a lot of things have to go right for this to actually work, and there are alternate ways to do it. And a lot of times, even when I was covering this a while back, I was like, okay, DNA surgery, there's the Reprodocus, there's actually a few different Yu-Gi-Oh cards where you can convert something, but to get it with the original like win condition, you gotta have a good matchup. And like DDDs, they're all pretty much going to be Dark and Fiend. There is like a fire card that they will be throwing out over here, but the card's win condition is very difficult. Another thing that makes it difficult, if you guys are thinking, oh, why don't I just summon a monster and creature swap or Xian's Spy or anything that related to that, it does not work with it. Unfortunately, it has to be a card that your opponent actually summoned. Otherwise, it doesn't work like that. So it is one of the more difficult and ridiculous Exodia cards that come out. I mean, it has to be. It cannot be like super easy. But if there is a build that can do it, I remember Dangers were able to do this relatively easy with Reprodocus, just because you can spam a bunch of monsters out, and you would just have the ability to distribute. And it doesn't really matter the attack of the monster too much. I mean, most of the time if you're tributing 5, it's going to be like well over 4,000 attack, and you don't even need to do any damage to your opponent. So here is the card that I was talking about. This is the fire one. Unfortunately, even attacking over this one, it won't make a game. It has to be, again, a fiend that is a dark monster to get that instant win condition. But my homie Quest Trainer over here, he's got a really weird deck too. I've never seen anyone play a Pendulum Exodia deck. Not that, you know, you'd want to summon Exodia, although there is the, like, again, the tiny Exodia build. That one you could technically also throw in Pendulums, but that one's a really hard win condition as well. It's just that I haven't covered Exodia, and it's a very iconic Yu-Gi-Oh card just in general, and just seeing it in action is kind of fun over here. So he's going to go ahead and activate the Dark Contract with the Swamp King, and also the Star Pendulum Graph is going to be there just to add cards again and again. Now he goes ahead and summons the DDD Destiny King 0 Laplas. This card over here, it happens to be a Dark and a Fiend. However, it has this effect where they don't actually take any battle damage, and it's not destroyed by battle each turn the first time. So he can't actually get the win condition off of that. You'd actually have to attack into it with another monster, and he couldn't attack into it with Purple Poison Magician because it would actually change it. So it makes it so you're able to double the opponent's monster's original attack. So he couldn't get over it with Violet Poison Magician and then attack over it after it already activated that effect. But now he goes ahead and goes into Kepler, and he's going to activate the Dark Contract, going into another Flame High King Genghis, because he can't risk losing out to the combo here. But what's cool with Tyrant's Temper, he has the option to tribute if he does want to get rid of one of his monsters here. So he's going to also take 8,000 extra burn damage, because that's kind of how the DDD engine works. And then we have Night Howl summoning the Dark, going into the Link monster. And what's interesting with this, he's going to put God Reggie over here, or Zero King Rage. He's going to keep Savant Kepler in defense mode, thinking that's going to maybe help him out. But this card is technically also a Dark Fiend monster. And now, finally, going in for the attack, he activates the Dark Contract with the Witch, and it's game over. He did get the effect of the Exodia, the Legendary Defender win condition. Like I said, to pull this off, it is so incredibly hard, because you have to play against a deck that not only is Dark Fiend, but isn't going to negate every single thing that you do. But this card doesn't even really protect itself other than having like decent stats. So when you mix it in with Pendulums, maybe with something like Secret Village, that can definitely help out a little bit to slow down your opponent. Or if you really wanted to, you can throw in Mystic Mind. That'd be like the more realistic way to actually win with this. But this is not meant to be a competitive deck at all. This is more of a fun deck. But I want to give you guys the deck profile. Big shout out to my homie Question for hooking me up with this. It's just, again, something that I haven't seen anyone talk about or play in years, because it's, you know, it's not very good, but I do want to give a good little throwback to Exodia. And there is like the true Exodia. There's that mini one, which we might talk about very soon on the channel, because I just wanted to see it in action here. But anyways, here is the deck profile. I'll mouse over the cards really quick, but I'll also include the one-click download via the Discord if you guys just want to download the deck. I do not recommend playing this deck if you want to actually take, you know, a Yu-Gi-Oh deck seriously. He even called it a meme when he sent me the replay file. The more realistic way to win with this is actually the Reprodocus. There is a Dark World engine that you can play. You can play anything that can spam out. There's actually a synchro version as well that I did see a while back that would require Librarian. At one point, one Librarian was at multiple too. That made things a lot easier. But you can also think about running DNA Surgery, changing everything. It's pretty easy to get everything to Fiend when you just swap everything to Fiend. A lot of times, Dark is just going to be on the field. It's just normal. Dark and Light are like, let's say, one of the more powerful monsters, unless you're playing against that new water stuff. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. And if you're new here and you do want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh stuff in the future, sometimes we do fun stuff like this. Usually I just try to cover the new cards. But anyways, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next vid. I'm out. Peace.